Good morning. It is Monday, September 27th, and I have just finished my morning meditation and prayer. And these are the cards that I drew today. I do, a daily 2-card draw. We look at the oppositions of two things that's going on. And what you see here, what I've drawn for today, I'm working with my Mudra Cards to set my energy going, and we worked with our Fluidity. We are working on our sacral chakra, and that color there is orange, and this is what we were working on in our class in Lapadia, and the correspondence color is orange, and that is awakening of the chakra of the sacral chakra, if I could speak this morning. And that's the card that I drew for balancing and working with my chakra. We are also deeply going into the chthonic into the cave, and dealing with our earth energy, and where I need balance is grounding. And this is true as I am working 2 jobs in essence, and looking for a roadway to open up so that I can get to the one occupation that I am striving for, and that is as a professional intuitive reader. And so the cards that I drew today for my focus, where I need to, how I need to approach my day and what I need to avoid, I pulled the King of Diamonds and the King of Clubs, and I have my Wild Unknown Archetype cards to give me more support in what I am doing. So these 2 archetypes, you see I pulled 2 very powerful cards this morning. I went into it, thinking about my business and how to establish my own practice and the steps that I need to take on today to head in that direction. And it's telling me to focus and to be a master of my values and know and understand what my values are. It is appeared through this card at the level where I can begin to really focus on my practice. That is with the King of Diamonds, and he is the master of values, and so he knows what he does very well. He's also the card that represents entrepreneurship, and even more than that, he's one who runs big, large corporations. An example of a person who, through the system that I've identified, who are the King of Diamonds, we have Bill Gates. So we see that he runs a big, huge enterprise, obviously, but that is the focus for me today. And then what I need to avoid, over here we have the King of Clubs. Now this is an interesting card because this is the master of knowledge, and of course I have to be knowledgeable in reading cards and what I'm doing, and sometimes I can get really just more involved in what I need to know, as opposed to practicing and focused in on the business practices. So he's telling me to kind of avoid that for today and really to focus more in on those business practices. Another interesting thing about this card, the King of Clubs is a significator for the attorney that I work for. This is his card. He is an attorney for a long time. He's a senior, and it's so interesting to see his card here show up. And it's interesting to note also about clubs. In the club suit, you will find a lot of attorneys and people who work in the law, things that are heavy and mental occupations that are of the club suit or are the King of Clubs themselves. And the King of Clubs is also a significant card for me. Both of these cards are significant for me in my life path. The King of Clubs represents for me my Mars energy, and that's where I am most passionate, and it's true. I love to master the knowledge of the subject matters that I take on, such as reading the cards. And then the King of Diamonds for me is one of my lifetime karma cards, and I'm in his house this year, so I owe him, and he's working with me. I'm in a blessed year, so I'm excited to work with the King of Diamonds. With my Wild Unknown Archetype cards, what they have to say, they're telling me to approach this day, the Bardo. So I'm just looking at the images. I don't know a whole lot about this deck yet, but just looking at the images and using my intuition, I see, an eye, a pupil, which represents, the entrance into the soul and the truth. And so as is, here giving me more insight on my King of Diamonds and how to approach this day, I'm going to look at it through the truth and see the soul of the truth of the business that I'm doing. And then again, I'm going to stay out of the forest today, not go deep into my studies like I do. I will spend hours and days deep into study, and sometimes I can become a little idle in that place because I'll get so far gone and deep in the forest with my studies that I won't get any business done. So that is what I'm reading for today in this 2-card draw. I hope that you got something from it. And if you are interested in a reading, I am at Namaste Bookstore in New York City on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Or you can send me an email and we can arrange for a private reading. We do Zoom, telephone, or in person at Namaste. Have a beautiful day.